Hey, I'm Jeremy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing 2 videos a day, Monday through Friday. The first one is about personal development, where I put a little spin on it, creating a noble house. And it's because they have a new Dune movie coming out. I enjoyed the first one, it was fine. And you see noble houses kind of motif. You'll see that with Dune if you watch it. Star Wars has them, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, there's quite a few. And today I'm going to be talking about what I've done with my weight loss. I've lost roughly 45 to 50 pounds, and today I've decided that it's as good a time as any to lose about the last 10 to 15 pounds. I'm going to go over where am I getting this from as to setting my goals. What have I done that's helped me kind of accomplish this? Just going over kind of all of this. My coat of arms that I'm kind of doing right here, and this is kind of hard to see, but above me I have kind of what I'm calling the keys to life. I guess for right now it's subject to change, but you can see that one of them, that says body, faith, finances, know yourself, knowledge, personal relationships. This one will go under body. So we open that up. There's diet, exercise, mental health, and physical health. And then I have a mission statement here. I already have that pulled up, so let's switch over to that. Let's enlarge that. And these are the personal issues that kind of go on in my life. I made a mission statement as to why it was important for me specifically, personally. So as you can see with the first one is cancer. You may not have cancer that runs in your family, so this wouldn't work for you. There's not a one-size-fits-all with this stuff. But that doesn't mean that you don't have your own issues. You're just going to have to sit down and kind of figure it out. So before we go any further, smash that like button and subscribe. The sooner I can get more people onto this, I'm going to build a larger website that's going to deal with this more. One of the biggest problems that I have is that there's so many articles and so many videos, and it's just random people just talking about what it is that they've heard. It's like, I want proof. What I don't need is whenever I go look up weight loss, I don't need 35 million search results. I need to know precisely what it is that I'm doing, and that's what the website's going to do, because it's all based off of an insane checks and balance and verification system. Anyways, so weight loss here. It's like, yep, my waist has definitely got down, but also is sleep. Now, I've done a video on sleep. I went out and I bought some blackout curtains, and those things are fantastic. I only bought 2. I've got 3 windows, but 2 of my windows are on the south side. Quite a bit of light coming in from the street over there, and I've enjoyed this so much that I'm going to go ahead and buy a 3rd one. It's not as bright, but with those 2, it's like it's really made it dark, and with that one, it would just make it almost probably pitch black. And it has helped. It has worked. They were relatively cheap. I think I spent 20 bucks per window, 40 bucks altogether. So I'll just go ahead and do the last one, because I was kind of like, you know, how much of a difference is it really going to make? It's like, nope. It helps. It helps. It helps. It helps. Also, turning down the temperature has helped a good deal. And then I was looking into noise cancellation. This is the guy that Matthew Walker, that I was kind of going off of. So at the beginning of this video, he says who he is. So we're just only going to listen to like the first 5-10 seconds.
Hi, my name is Matt Walker. I am a professor of neuroscience at the University of California, Berkeley. and I am also the author of the book Why We Sleep. And I'm here to speak about some tips for getting.
So his tips here is like he talks about if you want to shorten your life and if you really want to cause a lot of medical problems, don't get in roughly 8 hours of sleep. But here he is again, and this is, I'll have links to both these videos if you want to. This one is how to improve your sleep with Matthew Walker, Penguin Books UK. And then this one is 4 tips for better sleep, expert Matthew Walker. Google Zeitgeist 2019, whatever the hell that is. But it's because he's a neurosurgeon is why I'm listening to him, and it's not like every single neurosurgeon's got information out there on the web. So this is good enough. This is as good as I can expect it to be for right now. So he has 4 tips, and so we're going to start where he's kind of going over these tips.
And avoiding the damaging and harmful impact of alcohol and caffeine on your sleep at night.
So that was the first one, is no alcohol and no caffeine at night. He talks about how they're a sedative, they're not a sleep agent, you don't get into REM sleep, you need to avoid those. Already knew this, I don't have a problem with either of those. I drink some coffee in the morning, and in the afternoon it's less than half a cup, just enough to give me a little bit of a kick.
And if you're struggling with sleep at night, avoiding naps during the day, I have 2 additional.
So that was the second one, was avoiding naps. I don't always avoid naps. I don't mind taking naps, but they are naps. I try to keep them 15 to 30 minutes, not very long. And they do me just fine, but for some reason right now, I'm not napping. I don't know what happened. For a while there, it was like, no, I gotta just take a nap. And I don't know, something happened. It's just like, pff, yeah, I'm good again. So I don't know. And so these are the last 2 here.
Additional pieces of advice. The first is regularity. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time, no matter whether it's the weekday or the weekend. Regularity is king.
And I hear this with everything with regularity. There's this thing called your circadian rhythms. And it's like you want to be in this thing, supposedly is extremely well grounded. And that one, that's a contradiction to what he's saying, because it's talking about how that does promote naps, that you kind of, or really kind of 2 sleeps, where you have a sleep at night and then you have a sleep in the during the midday. And they talk about because you don't want to be up in the middle of the night, because that's whenever a lot of animals are and you want to be away from them. You don't want to be up in the middle of the heat of the day either. And something along those lines.
And it will anchor your sleep and improve.
But it does help me whenever I am on a consistent sleep rotation where I go to bed at the same time and I get up at the same time. It is much, 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 much easier on me whenever I do that.
The quantity and the quality of that sleep. The second is keep it cool. Your body needs to drop its core temperature by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to fall asleep and then to stay asleep. And it's the reason you will always find it easier to fall asleep in a room that's too cold than too hot, because too cold is taking you in the right temperature direction for good sleep. So aim for a bedroom temperature of around 67 or 68 degrees. Sounds
okay. So that's what I was wanting. 67, 68 degrees. I have it at 70. I take it down to 70. I'm going to take it down to 68. Because 66 and 67 was too cold. I bumped it up, but I think I could actually do with a little lighter. This word pad above me is the one, the video that I did about sleep. This was Matthew Walker here on the Joe Rogan Experience number 1109. And he just goes over all of this. I'm not going to talk about it. You can pause it and read it if you want to, or you can just watch it yourself. But these are kind of the highlights that I took from it. If you're dieting but not sleeping, then 70% of your weight loss will come from muscle instead of fat. Most important things: get regular sleep, go to bed and get up at the same time, control the light, and this is whenever I go the blackout curtains. Turn down the lights in your house, keep it dark and keep it cool. Drop the temperature by 2 to 3 degrees. Sleep naked and go to sleep with socks and gloves. Take a warm bath and it cools you. Napping can give you some benefits. Be regular. Cool down the temperature. See, he said 65 degrees on that one, didn't he? That's too much. I'm going to go for 68. Darkness before the last hour. Alright, so something else that I'm doing is that I just have this simple little black notebook kind of folder, and I'm putting in a schedule. So it's not thick with anything. This is just something I've just started. I've done something like this before. I've kind of done this, I guess, for a while, but I'm getting kind of specific with this. Learned about going in automatic pilot. I made a video about that, about your brain and thinking, and that 95% of us go into automatic pilot. It's the video where he was talking about a box and that you need to think outside of the box. And part of the boundaries within that box is your physical limitations, your moral limitations, and also just kind of really trying to understand how thinking works, and that you go in, whenever you go driving and you're just like, oh, hey, I'm here. How did I get here? Because you just went in automatic pilot. It's like I left and then here I am. I've done that plenty of times. I guess anytime I drive anywhere of any kind of significance, that happens. Anyways, I want to go into automatic pilot with a lot of this stuff. A good thing to go in automatic pilot is whenever you get up in the morning and you go through your morning routine. So for me, for example, I get up out of bed, I grab my phone, it's right there beside me, so whenever the alarm goes off, it wakes me up, I grab it, go to the bathroom, I number one, usually 99% of the time, wash my hands, come into the hallway, I turn up the temperature, go into the kitchen, fix up a cup of coffee, and cook up a couple of eggs. That's an example of it. It's just automatic. I don't think about it. It's just easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. So for my sleeping routine, for right now, I guess I was starting it at 10 and going from 10:30. I'm going to bump it up to 9:45. I'm going to wake up at 6. So at 9:45, I'm going to turn off all the lights and I'm going to turn down all noises and just kind of start putting myself in this habit of winding down. Then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to turn down the temperature to 68. I'm going to brush my teeth, floss, wash my face and hands. Then I'm going to go to bed, go jump in bed. And since I've enjoyed it being so dark, I also have noticed how much I hate all the stupid noises that go on. So I looked into a white noise machine. It's not very much. It's like $20. It's like, that's fine, whatever. And I'm going to take this one. I saw a YouTuber on it talking about it. He said the speaker sounded really good and that it has continuous noise. So a lot of these noise machines is just a loop, and it'll click whenever it clicks back onto the loop. You know, it plays for like 5 minutes, then clicks, and 5 minutes of the repeat, and it just repeats. That's not what this one is. This one's just continuous. It has 40 sounds. It's got a volume control to it. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. And the reason why I like this is because whenever I was younger, my dad talked me into buying this all-in-one stereo system, and it had a tape deck, a CD player, an equalizer, and a receiver. And after about 3 or 4 months, the CD player, I think, went out. And I was furious because my dad's got... There's more than one thing that I don't like about him, and this is pretty minor compared to the other things. But manipulative. And so I just laid into him. I was older. I was like, screw this. What the hell are you doing? Tell me to buy this worthless trash. Because if I take it in to go get it fixed, I'm almost going to spend as much money as what I did to buy it, because it was a cheap little thing. It's like, and if I had bought individual components like I wanted to, with the receiver being one and then a separate like CD player and then whatever else, then I would only have to take the CD player in, and I could still have the receiver and be able to listen to the radio, to listen to the television through my receiver or the old Nintendo or whatever it is that I had, or listen to movies through it. I wouldn't have to have the whole thing in. So I just bought my second TV ever, because that one lasted 20 years. That first one that I bought. I didn't buy a smart TV. I was a technician for DirecTV, where I would go out, do installs, and I would troubleshoot and figure out what was going on. And so often these people had smart TVs and they'd have something wrong with it. The two biggest problems that I came across was that they'd have problem with their HDMI connectors right there. I highly recommend that whenever you're buying a TV, that however many HDMI jacks that you're going to use, have at least one extra. Because it just seems like those things just go out like crazy, so have a spare. And then the other thing was that they'd have some kind of problem with their smart function of their TV. I didn't get a smart function with my TV. That saved me a couple $100. So I saved like $200, and so I spent $200 more, so I spent $400. And I bought a simple little tower, computer tower. And then I have a wireless mouse and keyboard, and that thing just serves as a big monitor. So now if something happens, those components are still separate, and so it's just one thing that I have to worry about instead of two. And the same thing with this, because it's like, well, why don't you use your cell phone to do this? It's because my cell phone's already loaded up, especially with music, and I really should get an MP3 player for whenever I go run. But the thing's loaded up, the speaker sounds like trash, and the phone is more expensive than this. So it's like, I don't want my phone to go down, because I've already got like 20 things that my phone is already taking care of for me, that I don't want to add anything else to it that I don't have to. And this is such a simple old technology right here. I mean, this is pretty basic right here. Chances are going to be really high that this thing's just going to be able to last me for like decades, as long as I take care of it. That there's no reason, and it's just going to go... You know, here's my bed, and you know, it's kind of like this, and I'll sleep with my head here, and I'll just put it over so it's out of the way. And that way I won't bang my head in it or any... My bed's real close to the wall, and there's kind of like this little, almost kind of wooden shelf that's right there, kind of lower a little ways, and I'm going to put it right there, so then that way it is. And then if something does go wrong with it, it's like, meh. It was pretty cheap. It has... I watched a few videos about this. They have them where they make sounds of like fans, really soft to really loud, from small fans to large fans, all kind of nature sounds. They had quite a few, and so this one, it's Amazon's choice. It's got 4.5 stars. It's got a whole bunch of ratings. Not a lot of people buy these, so I'm surprised it had this many ratings. This is what I usually do too, is that I'll go to Amazon, see what the ratings are, and then I'll shop around to see if I can get it cheap somewhere, because sometimes you can find it cheaper on eBay. I really like eBay quite a bit. All right, so what did he say that temperature should be?
Of around 67 or 68 degrees.
68, yeah. So I'm going to put it at 68 and then turn on white noise machine. I'm not a big fan of the crickets whenever they come around this time of year. They really drive me up the wall. I think I would really enjoy listening to the rain all the time. I think I could just do that nonstop. Then with my exercising, one of the things that I had to do was that I had to make it personal. So let me pull that back up again. I made kind of a personalized mission statement here. Just called it health. So why do I need to be concerned about my health? And it's the number one reason is cancer. Because, I mean, yeah, injury and illness and being married, my children, all this stuff, it means absolutely nothing if I'm dead. I can't do anything else if I'm dead. And so why is cancer here? Because my mother and her father both died of cancer. I do not want to die a slow death as my mother did. It was horrible. I hated it. I was there. I took care of her, and everybody can blow me. Otherwise, nobody was gonna stop me from doing that. And it's not like there really was anyone. Number two is to prevent illness and injury. What good am I if I'm in the hospital or broken at home? I do have a cracked lower vertebrae and a slipped disc from whenever I was in the military. And there's a nerve there that can get pinched, and when this happens, I can't do anything. So strengthening my lower back with weight training and weight loss helps. And whenever I did this, I was at 230 pounds. So I'm about between 180 and 185, depending on the day and time of day and all that kind of stuff. My wife, I'm not married, but now that I've got all this figured out, yes, I'm on the hunt. My wife will receive all that I have to give, my heart, body, and mind. I will demand the same damn thing from her, and if she's not willing to do it, then I will kick that girl right out the door. I will not marry her. So, but I am absolutely going to honor my marriage vows and my wife by keeping myself healthy and staying in shape. She's not going to marry a fat mess, and I'm not going to marry a fat mess either. We will keep ourselves attractive to each other and keep the temptation down, because it's a lot easier. I mean, yeah, if your spouse is this beached whale that you got laying over there on the couch, you know, just stuffing their faces all the time, it's not going to help at all. That's just obvious. And then leading by example, such as being a role model for my children as a responsible father. This will be a regular part of my family's life so that they can have a good life. So in other words, we're all going to work out together. It's going to be a family activity. No one chooses their parents, you don't even choose to be born. This is just something that happens. So I firmly believe that all this falls on the parents. It is the parents' decision to have children, which places a responsibility on their parents. It's like, I wish I would have grown up like that. I wish my parents would have done all this, had good diets and exercise routines, and just made this part of it. You know, yep, you have to eat, you have to sleep, and you have to work out. It's just part of life. And it's like, yes, it is. It absolutely is. I was horrible. I was miserable at 230 pounds. I don't see how larger people do it. I want nothing to do with it. I feel so much better at being in the low 180s right now. And so I'm going to kick past that here in a little bit here too. And so then also having strength and energy to live a productive life, to provide for my family, and to actively engage with my family, living with honor by fulfilling my obligations. Improvement, it's my personal goal in life, and health is one of my 3 core values. Improving my body and confidence. And so now I've currently lost roughly 45 pounds, a little bit more. Some goals that I have set. I do want to do Ironman marathon. Climbing Mount Whitney in California. It's the highest mountain in North America. I think it's North America. Maybe it's just the U.S. I think it's North America. This is some little thing that I'm going to do. This is kind of how many, and this is part of the achievement thing. The reward of 6 days of eating clean is that I get 1 cheat meal on the weekend. And then this is just some personal little stuff that I say to myself, did you forget who I am? Because sometimes I look back at being a kid and it's like, I'm not the same. And there are some things, I had a confidence to me that it's still there, but it's definitely different. Part of that difference is, it's definitely that I just don't care anymore. I used to get up into people's faces a lot more often. Now it's kind of like, why? It doesn't work. You can just get up and you can fight with them. You can argue. You can physically fist fight, and it's like it just does nothing. They're still whoever. Wake up. That's because I'm a lucid dreamer. Whenever I was young, I had nightmares, and I realized they were fake. So it's like if I could just wake myself up, and that's what I did. I got down on the ground, started pounding, said wake up, and I did. And that started me off on my lucid dream. Getting your mind right. This goes back to magnanimity and not being petty and just staying focused. So, and then a curious little thing, there's this thing called Blue Zones from bluezone.org, and centurions are very healthy and active. If you want to live to be 100, I mean, that's something that you definitely have to do. And I don't want this just based off of just random nonsense. So here this is the mayoclinic.org. Aerobic exercises, top 10 reasons to get physical. Regardless of your age, weight, athletic ability, aerobic activity is good for you. Consider 10 ways that aerobic activity can help you. Keeps excess pounds at bay, increase your stamina, fitness, and strength. And then they kind of define it. It's kind of like the vocabulary word and the definition. Ward off viral illnesses. Oh, this one just kind of. Aerobic exercise activities or aerobic exercises activates your immune system in a good way. This may leave you less susceptible to minor viral illnesses such as colds and flu. And what is COVID? It is all a part of the cold and flu family virus strain. Why do they never say that? Reduce your health risks. Aerobic exercise reduces the risk of many conditions, including obesity, heart disease. It's like, yeah, because you're pumping your heart whenever you go out there and run, for example. Helps with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, stroke, and certain chains or certain types of cancer. Weight-bearing aerobic exercises such as walking help decrease the risk of osteoporosis. Managing chronic conditions, lower blood pressure, control blood sugar, help reduce pain, improve function in people with arthritis, improve the quality of life for people who've also had cancer, coronary heart disease, strengthens your heart, gets your heart pounding, keeps your arteries clear, and I would assume that's because your blood is flowing really hard. Boost your mood, stay active and independent as you age, live longer. Studies have shown that people who participate in regular aerobic exercise live longer than those who don't exercise regularly. Sorry, it's late. They may also have a lower risk of dying of all causes, such as heart disease and certain cancers. Good. So I'm going to add this here. Where am I going to add this? Yeah, I'm going to add this to the bottom here. In the Mayo Clinic. It's not something I'm going to go over all the time, but with this I am. And then something I've wondered about is, should you be doing stretching? And here from Harvard, this is pretty simple and to the point. The ideal stretching routine, this is in February 3rd, 2021. Stretching promotes flexibility and helps you with maintaining your joints and a healthy range of motion. And in doing so, also lowers the chance of joint and muscle strain. But how often should you stretch? Should you hold it? How many times should you do each one? Panel of experts, whatever the hell that means, convened by the American College of Sports Medicine, okay, reviewed a wide range of studies to help review these questions. If you say so, I guess. There's no verification of this, and this is what I don't like. So it's like I have to put faith into something, I guess. So I know Harvard is kind of biased with some things. I hope it hasn't gotten into health, but who knows. Stretching has been studied much less rigorously than other forms of exercise, so the science is not as strong, but based on the evidence, the panel agreed that healthy adults should do flexible exercises such as yoga or Tai Chi. Tai Chi, huh? I've done yoga. Yoga's a bitch. That'll get you sweating and move just all kind of, it's like stretching on crack, man. That thing's just warrior 1 and warrior 2 and just chair pose and whatever, man. Neck, shoulders, chest, lower trunk, lower back, legs, ankles. 2 to 3 times a week for optimal results. You should spend a total of 60 seconds on each stretching exercises so you can hold. Okay, let's see. Alright, so also in my folder here, I have current goals. And starting September 9th of the 13th day, today, in other words, and going to October 13th, 4 weeks, I'm going to lose roughly 2.5 pounds per week, taking me from roughly the low 180s to the low 170s. Some of the things that I'm going to do is that I like to go to the convenience store because I can't have food here. The food that I have at my place is food that I have to cook up. That was a big game changer. Having cereal, sandwiches, soup, stuff that you can just get to like that and just start stuffing your face. No more potato chips or snacks or nothing. Whenever I go to the convenience store, especially whenever I was larger, it's like, yeah, everybody knows what you're doing, fat boy. You know, you're here picking out, you know. I kind of got a complex, I guess before that, about going into any store and just buying some kind of dessert, sweet, whatever thing, and it's like, I didn't like doing it. I still don't like doing it. It's a little easier now because I've lost the weight, and it's like, yeah, I've got a snack. But if I were to go buy like a bag of candy, it's like gone in a day or two. I just can't do it. So I just keep the temptation completely away. And all that I have here, it has to be prepared. I have to cut it up. I have to cook it. It's frozen. So it's just not something that I can just get at. The only thing that I can really kind of grab at is I do have some bags of frozen fruit. Strawberries, I buy bananas and then I freeze them, and pineapple. And also in these 4 weeks, no fast food, no eating out of any kind, no sugar, except I will take some Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm only going to take that on Wednesday and Saturday, and it's because those things are actually pretty tasty, and the peanut butter's not too bad. can't be any kind of pastry. The pastries are the worst because you're getting sugar and carbs both. It's like that's too much. But with this, it's just sugar, and if you have just dark chocolate, if you have the chocolate without the sugar, that's fine, and the peanut butter is fine. So the little packet of Reese's peanut butter cups, those two little things, they're like 100 calories each, so it's like 200. It's not too bad, and that's because I still want just a little bit of sugar. It's a lot less than what it used to be. And then on Sunday, I eat the same thing Monday through Friday. Well, I guess I'm kind of pushing into Sunday now. And then Saturday is, I usually just eat once, and I'll just kind of eat one meal, kind of whatever it is that I want to do. Because whenever I can't eat the same thing Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday. It's a little bit too much. So if I change it, I'm going to change it up on Sunday and Wednesday. It's a portion of meat, 2 to 3 portions of vegetables, and then that's it. So on Sunday and Wednesday, instead of chicken, it's going to be pork. And then the vegetables are going to change too. I'm going to have corn, peas, and I guess green beans. Normally it's broccoli, maybe a little bit of rice, squash, zucchini, or it could be asparagus, kale. I'm having a hard time eating the green leafy stuff. Sometimes it's okay, cabbage, what's that other one, collard greens. So but I'm gonna buy some frozen peas, corn, green beans, and I'm gonna buy a frozen block of cheese. I'm gonna buy a block of cheese and I'm gonna freeze it. I really like cheese, but if it was just shredded and even though it was frozen, it's like, yeah, I'll break that up and eat it. But if it was like a block, that's gonna be much harder to deal with. I don't think I'll mess with that. I think that'll be okay. And so 4 weeks to lose 10 pounds, 2.5 pounds per week, that shouldn't be a problem. So Sunday morning, I am going to get like some soup and maybe like a couple of Hot Pockets because that's whenever I go do my grocery shopping. And then for dinner, because I don't eat breakfast on Saturday or Sunday, and it's because I'm kind of cheating a little bit there. And in order to help me with this, I made a slideshow to help me work out, and I haven't been doing the slideshow, and so I need to put that back in. And the slideshow, it's just pictures of people who are fit. It's guys and girls, young and old, couples, singles, whatever. And it's just, well, that guy's in shape and he's got all that going on. Why can't I? Oh, that girl's hot. I'd like a girl like that. Why can't I? Like, well, because you're a fat slob. That's why. You know, yeah, it's not everything, but it doesn't hurt either. So, and it's, I don't know, about maybe 50 pictures. You know, it's like there are some of little kids who've got 6-packs, and it's like, if that little puke can do it, why can't I? I also have like older people, and it's like, if those old pukes can do it, then why can't I? So I've got the whole spectrum covered with all that stuff, and it really, that works pretty damn well. So one of the big things that I do too is that whenever I feel like that I need to go eat something, before I do, whenever I feel the urge to really go and cheat and get off of it, I go jump on the scale. Because my appetite will lie to me, but that scale does not. My appetite will tell me, man, I can eat all the time. Man, you can put food down in front of me right now and I'll eat it. But that scale, it's always telling me what's really going on. And then whenever I go on, I'm gonna see. Then we have the BMI chart, the body mass index. Let's look at the chart first. All right, so I am 72 inches or 6 feet. And I'm right here. I'm 181 to 184. And this just allows you to put it in. Let me back up because I was playing around here. 6 feet. See, now if I put in 185 pounds, I am overweight because my BMI is 25.1 and overweight is 25.0. So, but check this out though. This says, and this is from the CDC right here. For your height, a healthy weight range would be 136? Are you kidding me? 136? There wouldn't be anything of me if I was 136. You're talking roughly, what, 50 pounds less? To lose another 50 pounds? Are you out of your mind? It's like, no, hell no. No, man, that would have to be skin and bones. I can't imagine that. I just cannot imagine that at all. It's like no fat and no muscle and just no nothing. It's like your skin, your bones, and your organs. And not even food. Well, what do you have to do to get down to 136 as a 6-foot guy? It's like what? Breathe in your calories? I don't see how you do that at all. Just hell no. But it says 184. 184 is the max. And it's like, you know what? It's not like I'm fat. I've got a little bit, but it's just a little bit. Whenever I was 230 pounds, I had to sleep on my side because my gut was too big. I could not sleep face down. It was just not at all. It hurt my back. Because it was like, here's my head and my shoulders, then my big gut, and it just put a curve in my back. And it's like, no, can't do it. So I slept on my side. Now all that's gone. And I tell you, I woke up every morning, or damn near it, about 3 or 4 times out of the week, and I'd have some pain somewhere. All that's gone. All that's gone. So if I want to get down to the 170s, and that's about where I was whenever I was in the Army. I was in the 170s. So if I'm going to, I don't know if I want to go down any lower than that. I think the high 170s, man, just being in the 160s kind of scares me right there. But this is it right here. You can go on to table 2. I clicked on that, and that just brings on another one. And this is from the National Heart and Lung and Blood Institute. I thought this was from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services here. Let me increase that size a little bit. Can you see that better? Yeah. Now, I think this is for men and women, though. I don't think they divided it up into 2. So I would imagine that the 136 would probably be for women because women don't have as much muscle mass as men do. So that has to be it. That has to be. I tell you what, if I was 136, I mean, it's because I'm dead. I can't imagine that at all. Just not at all. I mean, 160 just seems absolutely horrifying to me. So. And this is a good time to do it because I'm not injured. I was, for a little while, in the 170s, but then I came down with runner's knee, and that stopped me from running. And then I had some elbow pain. Was it elbow or shoulder? And I stopped lifting. And so I gained some weight. I got up to about over the 190s again. But my running, on Monday, I'm going 8 miles. On Wednesdays, I I was doing 6, but this last Wednesday I actually did wind sprints. And that was hard. And it made my legs sore the next day. So I was like, yeah, I know those are pretty good. So I think on Wednesdays I'm going to start doing wind sprints and or interval training. And then on Saturday I'm up to 10 miles. I stopped a couple of times, but it's the hottest point of the year right now where I'm at. And that's always the hardest time to run, is the hotter that it is. I do the best in the fall whenever the temperature starts going down and starts to cool off. Oh, I'll make good improvements then. Winter is still pretty good, but there comes a point in time where it's just too cold. Because to go out and to get cold weather gear for those really cold runs, they just happen. There's not enough of those days to justify buying cold weather gear. It's like, I'm gonna be fine. It's like it's okay if I miss a few days out of the year doing that stuff. And so I think what I'll do is Monday do upper body, Wednesday do lower body, and Friday do upper body again. And my runs are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Did I say Monday and Wednesday and Friday? No. My lifts are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then my runs are the off days, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And so on Thursday, whenever I'm doing the wind sprints, that's whenever I want to do stretches. And on Sunday. Whenever I don't stretch my legs is whenever I have problems too. I don't know if it's my old age or if it's just all the miles that I'm running. All right. So yeah, that's kind of everything all summed up. And what I'll do is I'm gonna look at this every single day and count this down. I got 4 weeks to do this, and I can do it. Whenever I go run, especially the 8 and 10 mile run, I weigh myself before I run, and whenever I come back, I've lost a few pounds. Most of it's water though, and I'll gain that back. But still, I mean, I've lost some calories, though some fat, and that'll stay off. The only thing that keeps me in this range is that I usually overdo it a little bit on the weekend. I have excuses that I play out in my head. It's like, oh, I can go to the convenience store and I can get some chips. You know, that's carbs. I'm about to run. It's like, no, I don't need to do that. So. But the two biggest things that if you're looking to do weight loss, if you want to add 2 things, write these 2 things down. One is go jump on the scale every day, all day. Every time you feel the urge, go get on it. It doesn't lie. Number 2, start getting rid of those convenience foods. Don't have them at home. And guilt yourself. You know, do your own body shaming. Be like, tell yourself, oh yeah, everybody knows that I'm coming in here because I'm fat and worthless. It's like, do it. If that's what it takes, it worked for me. Don't let people say, well, you shouldn't say that. It's like, shut the hell up. You know what? I want results, and if that's what's going to work for me, then that's what I'm going to do. Mind your own damn business. Anyways, it's a good place to stop. If I keep going, I don't know if it's going to stop or not, because OBS doesn't always like that. If you have any questions, you can leave it down in the comments below. Maybe I'll get around to answering those. If it's on YouTube, YouTube does a really good job of showing comments on that. Hopefully this loads up on Bitchute. This last video that I did last week on Friday did not load up. I can't get it to load up. I don't know why it won't. I gave up on it. Whatever. So if this was helpful to you and you learned something here, give the video a like, subscribe. I got to create that noble family. I got to improve myself. So thanks for watching. Catch you again later. Bye.